Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something that could change your life. What if I told you that everything you are right now, everything you've become, and everything you will ever be, starts with one thing? Not money, not talent, not connections. See, your mind is like a TV screen. If you don't control the remote, life will play you reruns of failure, pain, and doubt. But if you take control, you can flip the channel to greatness. And that's why I need you to stay with me, because by the end of this speech you're going to understand that the life you're dreaming about, it's already inside you. You just haven't seen it yet. Imagination is not just a daydream. It's not just fantasy or wishful thinking. It is the blueprint of your destiny. It's the God-given ability to see what's possible before it exists. It's the sneak peek, the movie trailer of what your life can become if you trust the vision planted inside you. Steve Harvey once said, "Imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attractions." And he was absolutely right. What you see in your imagination is not random, it's not accidental, it's divine. Every great achievement in this world started with someone imagining something that wasn't there yet. Planes, skyscrapers, cell phones, music, businesses, even healing, even breakthrough, even your next chapter. It all starts with imagination. You have to see it before you can seize it. You have to believe it before you can build it. You have to visualize it before you can live it. But here's the problem. Most people have stopped imagining. They've shut down that part of themselves because life beat it out of them. Maybe they failed. Maybe they were told they were too unrealistic. Maybe they tried once and it didn't work out, and now they've confused imagination with delusion. But don't let life convince you to stop dreaming. Imagination isn't childish, it's necessary. It's not soft, it's strategy. Your future depends on your ability to imagine something better than your present. Think about it. What do you see when you close your eyes? Do you see struggle? Do you see limitation? Or do you see possibility? See, what you allow yourself to imagine becomes the ceiling or the springboard of your life. If you can't picture it, you'll never pursue it. If you can't envision it, you won't fight for it. And if you let fear block your imagination, you'll stay stuck in a reality that doesn't reflect your potential. When Steve Harvey was sleeping in his car, broke and rejected, you know what kept him going? Imagination. He kept seeing himself on stage. He kept imagining a life where he was making people laugh, traveling the world, changing lives. That vision, that mental picture, pulled him through the pain. That's what imagination does. It gives you a reason to keep moving when nothing around you makes sense. It shows you something ahead that's bigger than the struggle behind you. But you've got to protect that imagination. You've got to guard it like a treasure, because the world will try to shut it down. People will laugh at it. Your environment might not support it. Your past might contradict it. But if it lives in your imagination, that means it's possible. That means there's a seed planted by purpose waiting to grow. The question is, will you water it? Imagination is more powerful than memory. Memory is what happened. Imagination is what can happen. Don't let your past experiences define your future expectations. Just because it didn't work before doesn't mean it won't work now. You are growing. You are evolving. And your imagination is proof that more is available. But don't stop at imagination. Let it lead to action. Let it stir your faith. Let it guide your decisions. If you imagine yourself being healthy, then start treating your body like it matters. If you imagine yourself financially free, then start learning, investing, creating. If you imagine yourself in a better relationship, then start becoming the person you'd want to meet. Use your imagination to build momentum. Let it become the engine behind your discipline and your hustle. See, imagination isn't meant to be a retreat from reality. It's meant to transform it. When you wake up each morning, your imagination should be louder than your fear. Your vision should speak louder than your problems. And when people ask you how you're going to get where you're going, you don't have to explain all the details. Just tell them, I've already seen it. That's how powerful imagination is. It allows you to walk by faith and not by sight. So ask yourself right now, what have I stopped imagining? What dream did I bury because life got hard? What future did I abandon because people laughed or I got tired? It's time to dust it off. It's time to open your mind again. Let your spirit imagine freely, boldly, unapologetically, because that vision inside you, it's not just a fantasy, it's a preview, and if you keep believing, working, and trusting, the feature presentation is on the way. Imagination is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. It's your access point to purpose, progress, and power. So don't just live by what you see. Live by what you believe. Live by what you imagine. Because what you imagine today is what you'll walk in tomorrow. Let me tell you something straight up. Your life is not being driven by your circumstances, your bank account, your background, or your boss. It's being driven by your mind. Your thoughts are the steering wheel. Wherever your mind goes, your life follows. If you let your thoughts drift, your life will drift. If you take control of your mind and turn it toward vision, focus, and purpose, your life will shift in that direction. That's real power. Now, most people don't understand that. They think success is about luck, or connections, or having the right timing, and yes, those things can help, but they're not the engine. The engine is your belief system. It's what you feed your mind, because that's what drives the decisions you make, the risks you take, and the way you respond when life hits back. Your mind is not just some storage unit for memories or a filing cabinet for past pain. It is your navigation system. It processes where you are, where you've been, and most importantly, where you believe you can go. And if your belief is small, your direction will be limited. But if your belief is bold, oh man, your life will open up in ways you never imagined. Steve Harvey says this all the time. You can't out-dream God. If you're dreaming it, that's a sign it's possible. But here's the catch. Even if God plants the dream, you still got to drive. You still have to control your mind every day and point it in the direction of that dream. Otherwise, you'll just sit still, parked in the same place year after year, wondering why nothing's changing. Think about it like this. If you get in a car and take your hands off the wheel, what happens? You crash. Even if the car has gas, even if the road is clear, even if the destination is locked into the GPS without your hands on that wheel, you're going nowhere but off track. Same with your mind. If you don't guide your thoughts, fear will, doubt will, other people's opinions will, social media will, your past will grab the wheel and take you right back to where you swore you'd never go again. But here's the good news. You can take it back right now. This moment, you can decide that from today forward, you're not going to let your mind run on autopilot anymore. You're not going to let your environment control your vision. You're not going to let fear control your future. You're going to take the wheel even if your hands are shaking and start steering toward purpose. See, too many people are just reacting. Life throws something at them and they say, well, I guess that's just how it is. No. That's how it was, but you have the power to make a turn. That turn happens in your thinking first. Your future isn't waiting on the world to change it. Some of y'all are sitting in neutral, waiting for a miracle, when God is waiting on you to shift gears. He's saying, I've already put the dream in your heart. I've already given you the talent. I've already opened the doors, but you won't even drive the vehicle I gave you. You're the driver, and your thoughts are the steering mechanism. You can either steer toward greatness or steer toward excuses, toward what's possible or what's comfortable, toward faith or toward fear. So wake up every day and ask yourself, where am I driving my life today? Let me tell you, you can go anywhere in this life if your mind believes it first. You can overcome anything. You can rebuild, restart, reimagine everything, but it starts up here. So stop giving the keys of your life to things that don't deserve to drive it. Take your hands off the past, take your hands off fear, and grip that wheel tight. Because your destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. There's a reason Steve Harvey says, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Because before anything shows up in your life, it first has to show up in your mind. Your imagination is not some childish escape. It's not just fantasy or daydreaming. It's the blueprint of your future. What you see in your mind, you will eventually see in your life if you believe it long enough, work for it, and speak it into existence. Everything you've ever achieved, every job, every relationship, every goal started in your imagination. You saw it before it was real, and that image, that vision, pulled you toward it. Now imagine what would happen if you stopped limiting what you allow yourself to see. If you stopped shutting down dreams just because they seem too big, or too far away, or too different from your current reality. The truth is, if you can't imagine it, you'll never have it. You have to be able to see yourself with more peace, more success, more purpose, more freedom before it ever becomes tangible. That's why your imagination matters so much. It's like a spiritual GPS. It gives you a glimpse of what's possible. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. That dream sticks with you, it nags at you, it keeps you up at night. That's not a coincidence, that's your calling showing you where to go. But here's the problem, most people stop dreaming the moment life hits them. Bills pile up, people let them down, plans fall through, and they start thinking imagination is just a waste of time. But let me tell you, imagination is not optional. It's essential, because if you don't have a vision for your life, you'll end up living in someone else's. You weren't born to just exist. You were born to create, and imagination is the first step in creation. That idea in your head, that business, that book, that new way of living, that's God's way of showing you a preview like a trailer before the movie. It's a sneak peek of what can be if you're willing to believe it. That dream is not random, it's a promise, and the powerful thing is, imagination doesn't require evidence. It doesn't need proof. You don't need to know how it's going to happen. You just have to allow yourself to see it, believe in it, and not let the world talk you out of it. Too many people have let their imagination get buried under fear and failure, but failure doesn't cancel your vision. If anything, failure refines it. Failure is part of the journey to making the dream real. The danger isn't in failing, it's in not dreaming anymore. When you stop imagining, you stop evolving. You stop growing, you settle. You need to wake up your imagination again, dust it off, sit quietly and ask yourself, what do I really see for my life? Don't limit it. Don't censor it, don't edit it to make it realistic, because realistic dreams don't change lives, bold ones do. Unrealistic ones, the kind that make people say, who do you think you are? And you can respond, I'm somebody who still believes in what I see. You're allowed to dream again. You're allowed to imagine a life beyond your current job, your current city, your current struggle. And here's the real secret. Your imagination is the beginning of faith. Because faith is believing in what you haven't seen yet, but imagination lets you see it first in your mind. So the question is, what are you previewing right now? What kind of movie are you watching in your head? Is it a repeat of your failures, or is it a sneak peek of your breakthrough? Are you imagining worst-case scenarios, or best-case blessings? You have the power to change the preview. You have the power to direct the story. But first, you've got to give yourself permission to imagine again. Because imagination is more than just mental pictures. It's a magnet. It draws in the opportunities, the people, the energy, and the clarity that align with the life you were designed to live. So don't downplay it. Don't dismiss it. Don't let the world tell you your dreams are too much. Because that thing you keep seeing in your mind, that life that seems too good to be true, negativity is not just a bad mood. It's not just a few harsh words or a rough day. Negativity is a virus that spreads quietly, quickly, and destructively through your mind. And if you're not careful, it will take root in your thoughts, your habits, and eventually your life. Negativity will lie to you and convince you that your best days are behind you, that your dream is too far away, that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not lucky enough. It will convince you to settle for less, not because that's what you want, but because that's what it whispers is realistic. But let me tell you something loud and clear. Negativity is the enemy of progress. You can't grow if your mind is constantly feeding on doubt. You can't move forward when you're rehearsing failure in your head. You cannot plant seeds of greatness in soil poisoned by fear, hate, and hopelessness. See, your life is shaped by what you dwell on. You may not realize it, but every single day you are either training your mind to believe in possibilities or programming it to expect the worst. The people around you, the media you consume, the conversations you allow, they're either watering your spirit or draining it dry. You've got to become aware of the thoughts that are keeping you stuck, because negativity doesn't shout, it whispers. It shows up as self-doubt, as sarcasm, as pessimism, as the voice in your head that says, "Why even try? Nothing ever works out for me." That voice is a liar. That voice wants to keep you small. That voice wants to chain you to your past. But you've got to make a decision. Either you're going to listen to that voice or you're going to rise above it. Because the truth is, you cannot win the war for your future if you keep letting negativity fight your battles for you. And look, nobody's exempt. Even the most successful people in the world have to deal with negativity, internally and externally. Steve Harvey talks about it all the time. The setbacks, the rejection, the nights he slept in his car. But what got him through it? He refused to let negativity write the final chapter. He didn't deny the struggle, but he didn't let the struggle define him either. That's the key. You've got to acknowledge what you feel, but not let it direct your life. You can feel disappointment without becoming a negative person. You can experience failure without accepting defeat. You can go through darkness without becoming dark. Negativity is easy. That's why most people live there. It's easy to complain, easy to blame, easy to give up, but there's no strength in easy. If you want growth, if you want real progress, you have to fight for it. That means fighting against the urge to speak defeat. Fighting against the pattern of expecting things to go wrong. Fighting against the people who constantly pull you back into that low energy, low effort mindset. And you don't fight negativity with more negativity. You fight it with faith. You fight it with gratitude. You fight it with vision. You fight it by standing up in the middle of your storm and saying, "I still believe something good is coming. I don't care how dark it looks, I still believe." Because progress requires energy. And negativity is an energy thief. It drains your motivation. It blurs your focus. It clogs your creativity. You can't afford to carry it anymore. You've got dreams to chase, potential to unlock, people to impact. You've got a purpose, and negativity will always try to convince you to ignore it. But you have a choice. Every day you choose what you focus on. You choose what you magnify. You choose whether to feed your fear or your faith. And if you really want to move forward, you've got to make a bold decision to starve the negativity and feed your purpose, to reject the toxic thoughts and make room for possibility, to surround yourself with people who challenge you to rise, not settle. Your progress is too important to be held hostage by small thinking and heavy energy. You don't have time to waste on doubt. You don't have space for what if I fail. You need to start living like your future depends on your mindset, because it does. So let go of the negative, stop rehearsing the pain, stop repeating the lies, and start moving like someone who knows they were born to do more, because you were. Negativity can't build your dream, but faith, focus, and relentless belief. That's the stuff progress is made of. Now go build it. Your mind is the most powerful tool you've been given, but if you don't take charge of it, someone else will. That's not a theory. That's not a metaphor. That's real. Every single day you are being pulled in 1,000 different directions. Social media, TV, news headlines, other people's opinions, past trauma, fears, doubts, distractions. If you're not actively steering your thoughts, someone else is already doing it for you. And guess what? They're not steering you toward purpose. They're not guiding you toward greatness. They're leading you toward confusion, comparison, compromise, and comfort zones. You've got to understand this. The world is full of people, systems, and platforms that want access to your mind. Why? Because if they control your mind, they control your decisions. And if they control your decisions, they control your life. That's why it's critical to take back that power. Don't live on autopilot. Don't wake up every day reacting to whatever shows up in your feed, your inbox, or your environment. You've got to decide, this is my mind, these are my thoughts, and I choose what I allow in. If you don't set the agenda for your own mind, society will set it for you. That's why some people stay stuck for years. It's not because they're not capable. It's because they've surrendered their mental real estate to voices that told them, you're too late, you're not enough. This is just the way life is. They didn't realize they were handing over the keys to their future by refusing to guard their thoughts. Steve Harvey says it like this, you got to stop letting people put their limitations on you. And that starts by not letting them put their thoughts inside you. People will try to define your life based on their fears, their failures, their opinions. But that doesn't mean you have to accept it. You have to filter what comes into your mind the same way you filter what you eat. You wouldn't just grab something dirty off the street and chew it, would you? Then why would you chew on every negative word spoken over you? Why would you replay every doubt someone else projected onto your dream? This is where mental discipline comes in. Controlling your mind isn't about never having a negative thought. It's about not letting that thought take root. It's recognizing when something doesn't align with who you are or where you're going and saying, that's not mine. I don't receive that. Because your mind is like soil. Whatever gets planted in it will grow, good or bad, so you better be selective about the seeds you allow in. Let me break it down for you. If you don't take charge of your thoughts, the world will flood your mind with noise. Fear-based headlines, insecurity-fueled advertising, gossip disguised as conversation, all of it meant to distract you, divide you, and dull your focus. And before you know it, you're out here doubting yourself, comparing your life to someone else's, chasing things that don't even matter to you, living a life you never really chose. That's why controlling your mind is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's how you protect your peace. It's how you stay focused on your purpose. It's how you break cycles that have kept generations stuck. Because when you own your mind, you own your direction. You stop living reactive. You start living intentional. So the question is, who's running your mind right now? Is it your vision or your fear? Is it your goals or someone else's expectations? Is it truth or the noise of the world? You've got to choose every day, sometimes every hour, to bring your mind back to alignment with your calling. No one gets to decide what you think unless you give them permission. No one gets to dominate your mental space unless you leave the door open. You were not created to be a puppet in somebody else's narrative. You were born to write your own, but that starts in your mind. That starts with ownership. Take it back. Take back your focus. Take back your clarity. Take back your imagination. Take back your peace. Because when you control your mind, you take control of your future. And when you do that, there's no force in the world that can stop you. This is your life. This is your season, and it all starts with what's happening between your ears. Guard it, command it, master it, because if you don't control your mind, trust me, someone else will. Let's get one thing clear. Your life will always rise or fall to the level of your thinking. Not your background, not your education, not your connections, not your circumstances, your thinking. That's why mental discipline isn't just a good habit, it's survival. You've got to discipline your thoughts like your life depends on it, because it absolutely does. Every great life is built on disciplined thinking. Every dream that became real, every breakthrough that ever happened, started because someone had the courage and consistency to train their mind to think differently, to rise above negativity, fear, and distractions, and focus on what matters. Because make no mistake, your mind will drift if you let it. It will spiral into worry. It will replay past mistakes. It will rehearse worst-case scenarios. It will sabotage you if you don't keep it in check. You can't live an extraordinary life with undisciplined thinking. It doesn't work. You can't walk into a future of power, peace, and purpose while dragging a mind full of doubt, self-hate, or laziness. A scattered, undisciplined mind will always produce scattered, broken results. But a disciplining your thoughts means waking up every day and choosing what you allow to stay in your mind. You don't get to control every thought that comes in, but you do get to decide what stays. You get to decide what you meditate on, what you feed, what you magnify. You get to say, I reject this fear. I cancel this doubt. I'm not replaying this failure. I choose belief. I choose progress. I choose faith. And you say that not once, but again and again until your thinking starts working for you instead of against you. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Because your mind is a battleground, and if you're not actively fighting to stay aligned with your vision, your default programming will drag you right back into old patterns. Undisciplined thoughts are dangerous. They don't just waste your time, they sabotage your identity. They convince you that you're stuck when you're not, that you're broken when you're just growing, that you failed when you're only getting started. Steve Harvey says, your imagination is God's way of showing you what He has for you. But if you don't discipline your thoughts, you'll talk yourself out of everything God is trying to give you. You'll disqualify yourself from blessings because you let fear sit in the driver's seat. You'll shrink your dreams to match your comfort zone instead of stretching your faith to match your destiny. You need to think about your mind like an athlete thinks about their body. You can't just show up on game day and expect to perform. You've got to train it daily, feed it right, rest it right, guard it fiercely. You've got to put your mind through spiritual workouts, prayer, reading, positive affirmations, vision work. And most importantly, you've got to keep it moving in the direction of growth, even when you don't feel like it. Because discipline is not about feelings, it's about decisions. You're not always going to feel motivated. You're not always going to feel hopeful. That's why discipline is the bridge. It carries you across the gap between who you are and who you're becoming. And that bridge is built in the battlefield of the mind. Some people will say, but I can't help what I think. That's not true. You can't stop thoughts from coming, but you absolutely can decide what to do with them. Do you feed that thought or fight it? Do you speak life or speak fear? Do you stay stuck or stand up? You've got to be the gatekeeper of your own mind. Every time you allow your thoughts to go unchecked, you're gambling with your future. You're giving energy to things that don't serve you. You're watering weeds instead of seeds, but the moment you decide to discipline your mind, everything changes. The way you talk changes, the way you walk changes, the way you dream changes. Discipline doesn't mean you never struggle. It means you win the struggle over and over until your mind becomes a place of focus, not chaos, a place of power, not confusion, a place of vision, not limitation. So yes, discipline your thoughts like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your relationships, your opportunities, your health, your peace, your purpose, they're all connected to what's happening in your head. You master that, you master everything, and the best part, that power has always been yours. Imagination is not just a daydream, it's not just fantasy or wishful thinking. It is the blueprint of your destiny. It's the God-given ability to see what's possible before it exists. It's the sneak peek, the movie trailer of what your life can become if you trust the vision planted inside you. Steve Harvey once said, "Imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attractions." And he was absolutely right. What you see in your imagination is not random. It's not accidental. It's divine. Every great achievement in this world started with someone imagining something that wasn't there yet. Planes, skyscrapers, cell phones, music, businesses, even healing, even breakthrough, even your next chapter. It all starts with imagination. You have to see it before you can seize it. You have to believe it before you can build it. You have to visualize it before you can live it. But here's the problem. Most people have stopped imagining. They've shut down that part of themselves because life beat it out of them. Maybe they failed. Maybe they were told they were too unrealistic. Maybe they tried once and it didn't work out. And now they've confused imagination with delusion. But don't let life convince you to stop dreaming. Imagination isn't childish. It's necessary. It's not soft, it's strategy. Your future depends on your ability to imagine something better than your present. Think about it. What do you see when you close your eyes? Do you see struggle? Do you see limitation? Or do you see possibility? See, what you allow yourself to imagine becomes the ceiling or the springboard of your life. If you can't picture it, you'll never pursue it. If you can't envision it, you won't fight for it. And if you let fear block your imagination, you'll stay stuck in a reality that doesn't reflect your potential. When Steve Harvey was sleeping in his car, broke and rejected, you know what kept him going? Imagination. He kept seeing himself on stage. He kept imagining a life where he was making people laugh, traveling the world, changing lives. That vision, that mental picture pulled him through the pain. That's what imagination does. It gives you a reason to keep moving when nothing around you makes sense. It shows you something ahead that's bigger than the struggle behind you. But you've got to protect that imagination. You've got to guard it like a treasure, because the world will try to shut it down. People will laugh at it. Your environment might not support it. Your past might contradict it. But if it lives in your imagination, that means it's possible. That means there's a seed planted by purpose waiting to grow. The question is, will you water it? Imagination is more powerful than memory. Memory is what happened. Imagination is what can happen. Don't let your past experiences define your future expectations. Just because it didn't work before doesn't mean it won't work now. You are growing, you are evolving, and your imagination is proof that more is available. But don't stop at imagination. Let it lead to action. Let it stir your faith. Let it guide your decisions. If you imagine yourself being healthy, then start treating your body like it matters. If you imagine yourself financially free, then start learning, investing, creating. If you imagine yourself in a better relationship, then start becoming the person you'd want to meet. Use your imagination to build momentum. Let it become the engine behind your discipline and your hustle. See, imagination isn't meant to be a retreat from reality, it's meant to transform it. When you wake up each morning, your imagination should be louder than your fear. Your vision should speak louder than your problems. And when people ask you how you're going to get where you're going, you don't have to explain all the details. Just tell them, I've already seen it. That's how powerful imagination is. It allows you to walk by faith and not by sight. So ask yourself right now, what have I stopped imagining? What dream did I bury because life got hard? What future did I abandon because people laughed or I got tired? It's time to dust it off. It's time to open your mind again. Let your spirit imagine freely, boldly, unapologetically, because that vision inside you, it's not just a fantasy, it's a preview. And if you keep believing, working, and trusting, the feature presentation is on the way. Imagination is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. It's your access point to purpose, progress, and power. So don't just live by what you see, live by what you believe, live by what you imagine.